Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there is lots to negotiate about. Now, obviously as you all know, Manchester United have got, a lot of players on their agenda, and we have got a lot of midfielders on our agenda, so I am going to negotiate with you, what midfielder, do you think would be right for Manchester United. Now, obviously, one midfielder that Manchester United are in for, and that is Jude Bellingham. Now, Manchester United have been relentlessly linked with Jude Bellingham, according to James Cooper, who's a Sky Sports journalist. He actually says that Man United have been in for Jude Bellingham for months. Now, it remains uncertain where Jude Bellingham's next club is going to be. There has been quite a few clubs that have expressed their interest in him. Obviously, Manchester United have expressed their interest. Also, too, Borussia Dortmund have been in for him. I think actually, Borussia Dortmund have been emerged as the favourites to sign him. Also, too, Bayern Munich have been in for him. Chelsea, I think Liverpool have been tentatively linked with him. But actually, we could get the pursuit of the player this summer. Because obviously, as recent reports were saying, that Borussia Dortmund have now culled their interest in Jude Bellingham. I think because of uncertainty over their finances. Now, Jude Bellingham, either way, is expected to leave Birmingham City at the end of the season, and I think Birmingham have come to accept this. He's going to cost in the excess of around £30 million, is Jude Bellingham, so that figure, would make him the most expensive British teenager in history. And £30 million is a substantial amount, for a player that's only the age of 16. Jude Bellingham is inexperienced, and this is only his first season in the senior squad with Birmingham. It's only his first season in the senior squad, but I've got to say, he has been a revelation, and he has persistently, been playing this season. I think he's played around 30-odd games in the Championship. Jude Bellingham, by the way, is expected to sign his professional contract in the summer when he does turn the age of 17. Don't forget, he became the youngest player to represent Birmingham because he made his debut at the age of 16 years and 38 days, did the player. Now, obviously, it fueled a lot of speculation up the other week, a couple of weeks ago, because obviously, Jude Bellingham had visited our Carrington training ground, obviously, to hold talks with Sir Alex Ferguson. Also, to his parents had negotiations with Ed Woodward, so that fueled a lot of speculation up. But obviously, we put a contract offer in for Jude Bellingham not too long ago. I think it was worth around £100,000 a week, this contract offer, but reportedly the contract offer was lower than Borussia Dortmund's bid, so it actually said we're at risk of missing out on the player. But like I've said before, I don't think Jude Bellingham is Premier League standards yet. I don't think he's at that elite level. If I were, from a Birmingham point of view, I probably, would give him at least another season, to gain more experience. And obviously, if Birmingham were to give him another season, then probably it would be worth double £30 million if he was to replicate next season, what he has done this season. But he is only at the age of 16. But up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Birmingham. He has been a Birmingham City player since the age of 8. But Manchester United are obsessed about the idea of recommending him in. But some players from the Championship who come to the Premier League tend to do really, really well. So he is one midfielder on Manchester United's agenda. Now, another midfielder on Manchester United's agenda is Jack Grealish. Now, Manchester United have been relentlessly linked with Jack Grealish. Now, probably Jack Grealish is going to cost in the 60-odd or 70-odd million pound range if Villa do avoid relegation. If Villa, do get relegated, I don't think, it would be as much as £70 million. Maybe he could get him for maybe 30 or £40 million. I think the only chance Villa have got of convincing him to stay is if they do avoid relegation. But I think Jack Grealish could still leave Aston Villa anywhere, but I think he's keen on making a move to Manchester United. He's a very, very good player, by the way, is Jack Grealish. I do believe he'll follow the footsteps of James Milner and Gareth Barry, definitely. And he's a very, very good player, well proven in the Premier League. Up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. I think he's been a Villa player since the age of 6. I think he made his senior debut in May 2014, but since then, he's become an integral part of Aston Villa's team. Their promotion to the Premier League, obviously progressed them. He was the player, that played a part in Villa getting, to the Carabao Cup final. I think he did actually, have a loan spell with Notts County. Grealish has got around 3 years left on his contract. He's under contract with Villa until 2023. By the way, he's got no buyout clause inserted as the player. He is predominantly an attacking midfielder, but he can also occasionally play as a winner. But like I said, he would fit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy perfectly, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does want to continue the policy of recruiting young players to Manchester United like he did do last summer. And I think there's a lot of players that are excited about this, transfer strategy that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got. But yeah, Manchester United do need to get at least one midfielder, and I don't think, even if Paul Pogba was to stay at Manchester United, that wouldn't affect our pursuit of Jack Grealish. Don't forget Rio Ferdinand recently gave his overarching view on Grealish, and he actually, says he's got the cutting edge over James Maddison. He obviously, explained the reasons why. So yeah, so that's the latest news on Jack Grealish. So would you like him to come to Manchester United? Now, the other midfielder that Man United have been in for is James Maddison. Now, Man United have been relentlessly linked with James Maddison. Don't forget we was relentlessly linked with him last summer. I think quite a few clubs have been in for James Maddison in the past. But some people would say if we got James Maddison in, it would be the wrong decision, even though he's a good player. Because a lot of people do believe he's got similarities like Bruno Fernandes. But there again, Paul Pogba, you can say, has got similarities like Bruno Fernandes. Now, I wouldn't know who to choose out of Grealish and Maddison, to be quite honest. I think they are totally comparison. They are totally comparison of both players in that. But I don't know, to be quite honest. James Maddison, if we were to get him in the summer, he'd probably cost a similar amount, to Jack Grealish. He'd probably cost maybe 60, 70, maybe even 80 million pounds, James Maddison. But, obviously, Leicester want to try and convince Maddison to stay, because Leicester know how much of an imperative player he is. And like I've mentioned, Leicester have lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. Don't forget, they lost Harry Maguire to us last summer. They got 80 million pounds for him now. They lost Raheem Mahrez to City in the summer of 2018. They lost Danny Drinkwater, and they also lost N'Golo Kante to Chelsea. And James Maddison, he's well proven in the Premier League, and he's only in his second season now with Leicester, is James Maddison. But he's replicating what he did in his first season. I've got a stat to tell you. Last season, James Maddison created more chances than any other player in the Premier League. I think he's still got around 3 years left on his contract with Leicester, because he's under contract with them until 2023. But if Leicester were to sell him, they'd probably, get triple than what they paid for him, because they paid £20 million for him from Norwich in the summer of 2018. So, and obviously, James Maddison, before he was at Leicester, like I mentioned, he was at Norwich, had a good couple of years in the Championship with them. He also, had a loan spell with Aberdeen, so he played in Scotland. And when he was a lot younger, he began his career with Coventry, did the player. How old is he? Is he 23 or 24 years of age? Actually, plays on the left a lot, does James Maddison. But he would dramatically improve our midfield if he was, to be recommended in. So he's another midfielder on Manchester United's agenda. Now, obviously, was it last week? I give you the news on Thomas Lemar. Now, he's been another player recently on Manchester United's agenda. Now, I'm very, very sceptical that Manchester United will sign Thomas Lemar, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But it was just reports. This was coming from Julia Lawrence in ESPN, and he actually, he actually said that, he could be expected to leave Atletico Madrid at the end of the season, could Thomas Lemar, because he's endured a very difficult time with Atletico Madrid. He's made around 67 appearances for them in all competitions. Analysing him at Monaco, I thought, Thomas Lemar was a really, really good player, but he reported out the other week that Manchester United had been in negotiations with his representatives, but it did confirm anywhere that Man United and Ed Woodward will be contacting a lot of agents and players in weeks to come, because obviously, season's been suspended for a while. It is suspended until April the 30th. Obviously, fixtures will resume on the 1st of June. The season will resume on the 1st of June and should be completed within 6 weeks. So obviously, next season can start on time. Lemar, I think he's around, is he 24 years of age. Very, very versatile. That's a good thing about him. He can play on both flanks. You can also play Thomas Lemar centrally. Would you want him at Manchester United? Would you want him at Man United? I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you. I think Atletico did pay, was it, £60 odd million for him from Monaco. And he got a contract with them until like 2023, if I'm right. So he's been another player on Manchester United's agenda, Thomas Lemar. I also give you the news regarding Solsjkaer last week, I think it was, and now he's another midfielder that's been on Manchester United's agenda. Solsjkaer can play as a central mid, and he can also play as a holding midfielder. Solsjkaer, up until this point, has spent the vast majority of his career with Atletico Madrid, apart from one season. I think Solsjkaer has got a good 30. I think he's got like 38 goals in 284 appearances for Atletico Madrid in all competitions. Came out the other week saying that he was refusing to sign a new deal with Atletico Madrid, so possibly could leave Atletico Madrid. I think he's got a contract with them until 2026, so he's got like 6 years remaining on his contract. Because don't forget, a couple of years ago, Solsjkaer, signed a new 9-year deal with Atletico Madrid. Like I mentioned, City have been in for him for quite a long time. But obviously, he hasn't played in the Premier League. So, what midfielder in the summer would you like to see What midfielder would you like to see come to Manchester United in the summer? Do let me know in the comments below. Do let me know in the comments below. But yeah, so we'll delve into a bit more news now. Like I've been updating you at least in the last couple of days. It's looking very, very imminent that Manchester United are going to sign Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer window. So there is a lot of positivity coming out regarding Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho has already revealed that Man United is his number one choice, which is obviously very, very good news. Man United is his number one choice. Jadon Sancho is expected to cost around 100 million at least. Maybe we'll end up paying 120 million pounds for the player. But that means he will be our most expensive signing and a record signing in the Premier League, and I think the most expensive British player in history. But I'd love Jadon Sancho to come to Manchester United. Now, obviously, Man United are determined to give him the iconic number 7 shirt, because obviously Man United have got number 7 vacant. And like I mentioned, we've had a lot of good players up and down the generations who, have obviously, fulfilled that number 7 role. And I think Jadon Sancho can definitely follow those footsteps. Now, obviously, the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool and Madrid and PSG have all been in for Jadon Sancho. But don't forget, last week he confirmed that he wanted to get a transfer completed in July. But he wants to definitely come to Manchester United. And even Sky in Germany, they reported out, was it last month, that Jadon Sancho is expected to leave at the end of the season. Also, the Borussia Dortmund chefs confirmed themselves yesterday that Man United have beaten Liverpool and Chelsea to the signing of Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, by the way, has got a really, really good friendship with Marcus Rashford, so that's also very beneficial. He's also an admirer of Martial, and he also, is a big admirer of Mason Greenwood. And I think he'll do well playing alongside them with Jadon Sancho, because he's Premier League standard, because Sancho has played in the Premier League before, because don't forget, he did serve a couple of years at Man City, but never really got any first team opportunities at Man City, and this is the main explanation why I left City to join Borussia Dortmund. This is the main explanation why. And obviously, Fabrizio Romano, he broke some news out not too long ago. He's an Italian journalist and tends to be reliable, and he says Man United have been working with his agent for 2 months. We're also working on these contracts. Probably Man United would be determined to give Jadon Sancho around £200,000 a week. But he's now been at Borussia Dortmund over 2 years. This is now his third season with them. He was dropped in a few games earlier on in the season, but I think in the past 2 seasons, you've got to say he has been a revelation. He is now 20 years of age, is Jadon Sancho. He turned 20 yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday. And don't forget, Rashford and Angel Gomez had posted on social media happy birthday and all of that. So I'm very, very excited about Jadon Sancho coming in. He will be our 6th signing overall under Solsjkaer, and that's if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still Man United manager in the summer. But Dortmund will make a huge profit on him, because obviously they only paid around £7 or £8 million in from Man City. Don't forget, reports emerged out today saying that Tammy Abraham had urged Marcus Rashford to stay away from Jadon Sancho. don't ask me why, I think it was jokingly. But Tammy Abraham, of course, knows Jadon Sancho well because, they played together at youth level, if you do remember rightly. But, I think, Rashford has got a lot of time for Jadon Sancho. But Jadon Sancho's a player, that can score goals. He can also create chances. He can, get runs in behind. But let's just look at it now. Say we get Sancho in the summer, that's 100 million at least. Jack Grealish probably 60 or 70, so that'll be 160 and 170 million pounds there on two players. So we are definitely, going to spend a substantial amount in the summer on bringing, more players into the football club. Definitely in that. So, yeah, these are a lot of players on Manchester United's agenda. But like I said, Ed Woodward's back in Solsjkaer. The Glazers are back in Solsjkaer. I think quite a lot of our players are back in Solsjkaer. And still, some of our fans are back in Solsjkaer. So let's just put that into the equation. There hasn't only been quite a few midfielders on our agenda, like I mentioned. There's also been quite a few strikers on our agenda because Man United are also in search for a striker. Obviously, the likes of Harry Kane's been on our agenda. I don't see him coming to Man United, though. There's been talks of Aubameyang possibly coming. There was reports about Griezmann not too long ago. But yeah, Manchester United definitely do need a striker. And I know we have got a lot of good attacking in players. And I've got to admire Odion Ighalo because I think Odion Ighalo has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He's got 4 goals in 3 starts for the football club as Odion Ighalo. And he's a different type of centre forward. And what I mean is he's totally comparison to our other attacking players. But obviously, now he's moved to Manchester United on a permanent basis. Could be in doubt. Like he updated you on my recent video. His move to Man United could be in doubt because reports have come out today. It was also stemming from Sky Sports. And they said that Shanghai Shenhua have offered Odion Ighalo a 2-year contract extension with around £400,000 a week. That's obviously before tax. So that figure in that could obviously convince him to turn down a permanent move to Manchester United. Obviously, I think he's still under contract with Shanghai Shenhua until 2022. But Ighalo was saying the other week that he was willing to even take a pay cut, to be at Manchester, remain at Manchester United and not go back to Shanghai Shenhua. But he revealed how much it will cost Man United to get him permanently, and it will cost us around £15 million. We're paying him like £100,000 a week at the moment, so we're like paying a third of his wages, so put that into the equation. But I think, he's keen on remaining at Manchester United, he's Odion Ighalo, and we're looking to extend his loan until 30th of June due to the coronavirus pandemic. His current loan spell ends with Man United at the end of May, does Odion Ighalo. But like I mentioned, he's a really, really good cover-up to Marcus Rashford. But like I mentioned, even if we do get Odion Ighalo in on a permanent transfer, I still believe that Manchester United need another centre-forward in there because we need an adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku and that. But yeah, we will see what happens. Obviously, I give you the news, didn't I, regarding Paul Pogba on my previous video. Now, there's a lot of uncertainty over Paul Pogba's future. We don't know what's going on with him at the moment. Basically, Manchester United have got to do everything they can to resolve Paul Pogba's future. Now, as you all know, there's been reports coming out saying that we're confident now he will remain at the football club at least for next year due to the coronavirus pandemic. And obviously, we're sceptical that Real Madrid and Juventus can finalise a deal for Paul Pogba. Now, I think reports came out recently saying, we was willing to let him go for just £100 million this summer, Paul Pogba. So obviously, that figure's totally comparison to last summer, because last summer we revealed that we wanted around £180 million for Paul Pogba. And of course, Real Madrid were not determined to pay this. They were not determined to pay this and that, so this is why his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise, Paul Pogba's. Now, as you all know, over the course of last weekend, Ed Woodward had been in negotiations with Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola. Obviously, to try and resolve Pogba's future and to stop Mini Raiola making public attacks against the football club, because he's made a number of public attacks against the club since the turn of the year and that. And obviously, a lot of United fans have been very, very infuriated, with some of the comments he's been coming out and saying. The recent things he's been saying, like, he said he wants to take a great footballer to Real Madrid. He revealed that, Pogba's having a complicated time at Manchester United. And he's enjoyed a difficult time at the club. He did really, really well in that 3-month period when Solskjaer was the interim manager. But he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, with injuries, especially this season. He's only played 8 times this season as Paul Pogba due to his injuries. So his appearances have been limited as the players. Now, I was obviously, reading reports earlier on today, and it does say that Man United are going to probably open negotiations up with Paul Pogba over the possibility of extending his contract until 2022. Because it stands at the moment, Pogba has got around 2 years left on his contract at Man United. Well, it's a year with an option of a further year, but it's likely that Man United will trigger that 1-year extension. Pogba on his current contract, though, is on around £300,000 a week. But there was reports coming out the other week saying, Pogba wanted to stay. He was interested in extending his contract to the club because he's aware of the impact that Bruno Fernandes has made, and probably Pogba believes that, he can form a good partnership with Bruno Fernandes. And I'm excited about the prospects of them playing together in our midfield, and so too is Solsjkaer, because when the season does resume, of course, Paul Pogba will be back. So let's just put that into the equation. Solskjaer did say himself the other week, a couple of weeks ago, that Pogba will remain at Manchester United. Obviously, Carrington training ground is closed until the 10th of April due to the coronavirus. So the team have been training in self-isolation. But the other week, Pogba was back in training, and he'd had some personal coaching with Michael Carrick. Pogba's in his 4th season now since he rejoined. Obviously, Man United paid £89 million for him. But, since he rejoined the club, he's just basically had a long-running transfer saga. But a lot of United fans have got different perceptions on him. Some United fans will keep him, and some United fans would say get rid of him. Because, obviously, Bruno Fernandes is now making the difference in the team and that. And, obviously, our other midfielders are also doing really, really well. So, even if when Paul Pogba does come back, can he play regularly? Because you've got Fred now that's really rejuvenated himself. You've got McTominay that's done well this season. You've got Matic that's recently rejuvenated himself. And I think for Pogba to get in there, we'd have to drop Fred, Matic or McTominay. So let's just put that into the equation. But, Pogba, to be fair, has got a good friendship, with Zinedine Zidane. So this could be the main explanation why he could end up making a move to Real Madrid. If he doesn't go to Madrid, he'll make a return back to Juventus, because he did enjoy 4 good years in Turin, did the player. But like I mentioned, there's uncertainty over his future and that. By the way, Ole Gunnar Solsjkaer, I'm going to go through with you now, what I think Ole Gunnar Solsjkaer has changed at Manchester United, since he came in to replace Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. And to be fair, quite a lot has changed under Solskjaer, than what I saw under Jose Mourinho. And Solskjaer, was talking about this, when we were supposed to be playing Tottenham, but obviously, we couldn't because it was just postponed. But basically, I think the things that have changed, I've got to say, the tactics have changed since the Mourinho era. Obviously, the players, he's changed the players. Like I mentioned, the tactics have been changed. Personnel's been changed. He's promoted the youth. That's one good thing about Solskjaer. He has got a lot of trustworthy in his young players. And yeah, so a lot of things have changed, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, to replace Jose Mourinho. And also, too, don't forget, Solskjaer was talking about how he had to overhaul the squad, because Solskjaer knows he's inheriting the vast majority of Jose Mourinho's players. And obviously, I think, the players that Jose Mourinho brought in, now under Solskjaer, they look much better, such as, they look much better in that. And Jose Mourinho enjoyed 2.5 years at Manchester United, and I give you the main explanations why it didn't work out under him, because Mourinho had bad disputes with the board, he had bad disputes with the top players, the board weren't backing the signs that I wanted to recommend in the summer 2018, he did win 2 trophies in his first season, but they're the reasons why it didn't work out under him and that. And obviously, Mourinho had bad disputes with the top players, such as Martial. He's doing good under Solskjaer now. Luke Shaw, he's doing good under Solskjaer since he's just come back from injury. Also, too, Fred's doing really, really well. He never got a chance under Jose Mourinho, and everybody was basically criticising him and that. But we do actually look better now under Solskjaer than what we did under Jose Mourinho and that. But Solskjaer was talking about the changes, that needed to be made when he came in. But like I mentioned, I would give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer anyway at least another season at Manchester United because I think he does deserve to stay. Obviously, on Saturday, Solskjaer will be celebrating his 1 year anniversary with Man United. 1 year anniversary as permanent Manchester United manager, because on Saturday it would have been officially a year he has been permanent Man United manager. But overall, including the 3 months when he was the interim manager, he has been at Manchester United now for around 15 months. And in this 15-month period, it has been up and down, don't get me wrong, but we have done really, really well recently. We are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions, and this is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. And I've got to say as well, Solskjaer's approach to games have been good. He showed a lot of tactical flexibility, and he's given everybody the chance to express themselves. And instead, at the start of this season, the young players would get given their opportunities. Greenwood's done well, Williams has done well, Tuanzebe did well earlier on in the season, Garner's done quite well. Chon's done okay in the games he has played. And Angel Gomez hasn't really been given the chances, so don't really have a perception on him, to be quite honest with you. But, Solskjaer's obviously, managed 50 games for Manchester United in the Premier League. And I think he's won around, 24 or something like that, lost 13 and drawn 13 or something like that. But I've got to say, this season we've done really, really well against the big six sides. Weren't too good against the big six sides, were we, last season and that. But Solskjaer's got 2 years left on his contract at the club. I'm still very, very sceptical that he is a long-term solution for Man United. And can he bring success back to Manchester United? And that is the question. If Man United can get the right calibre players in this summer, I think we can challenge for the league next season. Solskjaer even said, he thinks Man United need around 3 signings in the summer to become title contenders. But I've got to credit him, for the players he has recommended in so far. Solskjaer obviously spent £220 million at the club. He brought James, Pisaka, Maguire, Fernandes and Odi Nagalo in. Also, too, he has let a lot of the deadwood go as well, so let's put that into the equation. He has let a lot of the deadwood go. Around 9 players have left in total since he come in. Obviously, some went on permanent transfers. Obviously, some are loaned out. And I do expect, Man United to get rid of more players in the summer. I think we're going to get rid of around 5 players in the summer. And I've already gone through I think, the players that Man United are going to get rid of. I think we're going to get rid of Jones, Lingard, Pereira, possibly Angel Gomez. Lee Grant, he's another player that needs to go. We'll negotiate on getting rid of Sanchez on a permanent transfer. I think, we'll also negotiate on getting rid of Rojo on a permanent transfer. But definitely, more players are going to go in that. Man United, have got quite a few ambitions this season. And one of those ambitions is to, finish 5th in the Premier League, because it is a Champions League spot. But we're only 3 points behind Chelsea. And, the Europa League's a priority for us. That's a chance of getting silverware on the board. The FA Cup's a priority for us. That's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board, because we haven't won out yet in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. We've lacked silverware in the last 6 or 7 years. We've only won 3 trophies since the Ferguson era. The FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under the Jose Mourinho era. But Solskjaer does deserve more time, because Manchester United have not got the structure to keep sacking managers. We've already sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era. Moyes got sacked, Louis Van Gaal got sacked, and Jose Mourinho got sacked. But, some managers do deserve time, and I'm sceptical that Solskjaer will invoke Ferguson's legacy, but I don't see anyone coming in here and invoking Ferguson's legacy. Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years, and he was on the verge of getting the sacks. But look what he went and accomplished, after not winning out in his first 4 years at the football club. We won the vast majority of our silverware under Alex Ferguson. But it just seems to have all gone downhill since he left, and Ferguson endured 26, 27 years at Man United. And since Fergie left, a lot of money's been invested at Manchester United. I think we spent like £1 billion in the last 6 or 7 years, or close to it, in the £1 billion range. Moyes spent 67 million. He bought Juan Mata and Fellaini in. Van Gaal spent a good 200 odd million on the likes of Schneiderlin, Falcao, Depay, Di Maria, Daley Blind, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, all them players, Louis van Gaal brought in, and there's still some players in now from the Van Gaal era. Mourinho spent a good £400 million on players, and put into the equation, we spent £220 million under Ole Gunnar Solsjkaer. Not only that, we've got the highest wage bill in the Premier League, but Manchester United are one of the biggest clubs in the world with a fantastic history, a fantastic fan base. More successful team in England, of course, with 20 titles and that. But I think in the next 2 to 3 years, Manchester United can definitely win the league. That's one thing I can definitely assure with you guys. But, Solskjaer has still got a lot to do, because if he's given another season at Man United, he's got many expectations to exceed. But he is aware that it is a transition period. Was a shame last summer Man United didn't get a director of football, because I did say, that's one of the structural changes that we did need, but never mind, never mind. And De Gea, my overarching view on him is I think, I can see him going in the summer as well, David De Gea. Because Dean Henson, could become our number one goalkeeper when he comes back from his loan spell with Sheffield United. But like I mentioned, Man United have had a lot of injuries this season. This is one of the main explanations why we've made a lot of rotation. But we've had to make rotation anyway, because to be fair, Man United have played a lot of games this season now. Solskjaer's record is disastrous since he got the job permanently, but he does deserve more time. But no matter what happens, he was a great player for the club, no matter what happens. So anyway guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.